When teachers provide abundant reading material in the classroom, they support children's literacy learning. These classrooms include a wide range of books and other texts accessible to children.
So literacy is a large part of our day, from the time that the children walk in until the time that they leave the classroom. So this is our book area, and it's very important to us that we have different types of books that represent all of the children in our classroom. So we have a very large Middle Eastern population in our community, so we have books that are both in English and also in Arabic. And then we also have a lot of other books that reflect children's cultures, their home lives, and also reflect different types of families, because we find that it's really important that children see that children aren't just different based on their culture, but also based on their family. Some other things that we like to put in our book area as well are child-made books. So they draw the pictures, they create their own stories, and then we write down the words for them for their stories. And then some stories that are really interesting to the children, they draw their own interpretations of those stories. And then we also write down their words in retelling the story. So we also have alphabet books, and these are really important to use in the classroom because they have so many different words that begin with each letter of the alphabet. So this is something that the children are really interested in, and the teachers enjoy reading to the children, and we point out Abby Alligator is ready to work. A is for Abby, A is for alligator. So on each page, as we're reading, we're pointing out the words that begin with those letters. And then in the back page, it's a really interesting page where the children get to look at the picture and try to find the things from the story that begin with that letter. So we have a lot of books that we actually have teacher-made felt pieces to go with them. So we have the story Go Away Big Green Monster that the children are really interested in right now. So we have teacher-made materials for them to be able to open the book and put the pieces together with the two big yellow eyes and the bluish greenish nose, and so forth. And we have multiple sets so that multiple children can enjoy it at one time. We also have uppercase and lowercase sequencing puzzles with which the teachers work with the children to get the letters in order. And a way that we do that with the children to help them with the sequencing is by singing this song. We also have puzzles with letter and picture. And then puppets. Right now the children are really interested in Goldilocks and the Three Bears. So we have books and we have puppets for them to reenact the story with as well. So I like to have a lot of books in the classroom that are also real life pictures. I have a lot of books like this one up north in Michigan where it's going to show real life pictures of things that the children may experience here in Michigan with lakes and sand and those types of things. And then some of the other books that actually reflect Michigan and where we're from. Also in the black area, we have many books about building and transportation. So these are things that the children can look through and also get ideas about things that they might want to build in the classroom with their own blocks. There's also transportation books, which we have vehicles, so they can read about those. And then the children were really into the story, The Three Billy Goats Gruff. So we did a small group activity where the children were building bridges. And what we did was we printed out bridges of the Tower Bridge of London, the Mackinac Bridge, so that they could see real life bridges, and that would hopefully inspire them when they were building their own bridges. So we also have clipboards in many different areas throughout the room. We have them in the Dramatic Play Center, we have them in the science area, we have them in the writing area, and then we also have them in the block and building area. And the children know that they can always access the clipboards. You see they're well used for any type of writing they want to do, any type of drawing, any plans they want to do in block and building, writing in the writing center, writing in dramatic play, whether they're taking orders or writing down notes, or in the science area. So right now in the Dramatic Play Center, the children are very interested in doctor's office. So what we did was we brought in some books, some that we created about our bodies, so they can look at internal and external parts of the body and reference that when they're playing doctor. And it has labeled so the children can, or teacher can read to the children the different parts, brain and heart and lungs. And then there are also just some other books about the human body, and about bones and things that they can reference while playing doctor. So we also have cookbooks for children to look at. If they're taking orders, they might want to write down the words of something. And there's words and pictures for them to look at. And they have notebooks, clipboards. We have sales order books, receipt books, pencils, lots of different writing materials for them to use how they want in their play. And then in the Science Center, we have many different books about animals, about bugs, about fruits and vegetables and flowers. And then we have books, but they're all real life pictures for the children to look through and explore. So here we have our lending library. We have different books and also literacy materials for families to check out at the end of the day. Books are chosen based on children's interests. And like I said, literacy materials where we have letter puzzles, alphabet bingo, upper and lowercase letter matching, different things for families to work with their children at home, since we know that families are our children's first educators, so we want to make sure that we're doing our part with families to help them teach their children at home. We have a listening center with many different types of books, and we use these, children can use these independently during work time. And then we also have tablets and iPads that we use. We have different apps that have different literacy activities on them to help children with letter recognition and sound. And on the tablets, children can also listen to ebooks. So this is our writing area. We encourage children to use it during work time, but some of these activities we also use at other times throughout the day. We have a lot of different writing materials, such as dry erase markers, crayons. We have magnetic letters. We also have a box filled with whiteboards. And also for writing, we have notebooks, envelopes, sentence strips, lined paper, plain paper, all of those types of things for children to write down anything that they want. And then of course we have our Spanish numbers, Arabic numbers, English alphabet, and then the Arabic alphabet as well for the children to reference. And we have real life pictures that are in our community, the local grocery store. So the children are able to see it in print and connect it with the picture. And these are things that are more meaningful to them because these are things that they see in their community. When they choose to use it during work time, some things they can use independently, some things they may need help with. So that's just something that a teacher will kind of watch and see. We want them to try things as much as they can and be independent, but when they do need assistance, we are there to help them with things or answer any questions they might have. So in the classroom, each child has their own journal that we use during planning and recall time. So this child drew a picture about what they did at recall, and then the teacher wrote down art area, and the child said, I painted. So the teacher writes down the words that the child says, and then the child also said, house area, I played with the music. So the teacher writes down all of their interpretation of what they did. They can also be used during other times of the day. Sometimes we use them after a story. So the children will draw their interpretation of the story, or they may draw a continuation of the story. So when we read the story Little Blue and Little Yellow, the child drew a picture and the child said they're hugging and turning green. So that's what we wrote down. They're hugging and turning green. And then they're playing dress up. Writing down the children's words are very important because it helps them connect what they're saying to the written word. And that is one of the first steps to literacy. As we leave the classroom, we also do literacy activities through transition. So if the child chose T for tiptoe, what we're going to do is we're going to sing a song about tiptoeing, and we're going to walk to the next area, whether we're going to the gym, whether we're going outside, and we're going to tiptoe.
Learn more at literacyessentials.org.